Hey students, this is Mr. Young and I'm going to show you how to do some different yoga maneuvers to get warmed up for skating. So I have a yoga mat, I'm shaking out my legs. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to lift up my heel and I'm going to bring it down. So from the side here, I'm bringing it up and bringing it down. And I'm going to do probably about 5 of these on each leg. Really extending up, getting all the way up so that we're stretching our ankle and feet muscles. So again, I'm going to do it on my other leg. And you don't have to worry about keeping count perfectly. Just try to keep along with the video. Some I might do 5 on one leg and 6 on another. You don't need to be perfect. So now what I'm doing is I'm making circles. So I'm going around one way, then going around the other. So I kind of roll my foot in a circle. Again, this is loosening up the muscles and ligaments of the ankle and the foot. Doing the other side. And although this is a cool down or a warm up, I have noticed this is also a great way to, if you're sore the day after skating, to kind of get out all that tightness and stiffness. So now what I'm going to do is a nice deep squat here. So I put my arms out and I'm slowly lowering down to like sit on an imaginary chair, and then I come back up, put my arms out. This time I'm going to try to go a little deeper. Now if you need to, if this is hard, if it's hard to get your bottom down, you can make your legs a little bit wider. You could also point your toes away from your body. That'll open up your hips and make the squat a little bit easier. I have to apologize about the mess in our house. We are remodeling our kitchen right now, so a lot of the items that you see in this fenced off area are normally in cabinets, so I've got to keep them fenced off and keep the baby out. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my arm up and I'm going to lean to the side. We're going to hold it. Remember to also focus on your breathing while you do these. So now we're going to do the other side. So my left arm comes up. You could do your right arm if you're following along with the video. Lean to the side. Again, I'm holding it, focusing on my breathing, breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. All right, so now I have my arms kind of about 45 degrees off to the sides. What I'm doing is I'm arching my back and then I'm going to the side. So I still have my back a little bit arched, I'm going to the side. This is really good for loosening up the hip and lower back muscles. Just going side to side, loosening up those hips while my back is slightly arched. And if it hurts, any of this, if it feels like you are feeling pain, you're pushing your body too hard. You should not feel pain. You should just feel a nice light stretch, which should give your body a little bit of a tingle feeling. All right, just a couple deep breaths. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across to my opposite shoulder and then reach behind. This is going to loosen up our trunk and our core and get us ready. Now if you really, once you start getting the hang of it, because it is a little bit tricky, then you can start to look behind you. Really loosen up the neck too. For you scooter riders and skateboarders, obviously this is like when you're pushing and you're looking behind you. Sometimes we hear a car coming or a vehicle. Gotta make sure that it's safe. So it is important to stretch the neck and upper torso as well. So that's what we're really focusing on now. So now we're going to turn and hold it. My toes are pointed straight. So I'm not pushing with my hands at all. I'm just turning and looking over my shoulder and holding it. And that stretches out my lower back. Okay, so now I put my fingers together. I'm going to flip them over so that my palms are facing down. I'm going to slowly start to raise my hands up above my head. Now I'm focusing on my breathing again while I do this. And then once I get them above my head, I want to do a slight arch. And then I'm going to go up onto my toes. Be very careful. Focus on your balance. Up, up, up. Try to keep going as high as you can. I feel like I'm going to fall over. Now I'm going to come down and slowly raise lower my arms behind my head. Now I'm not pulling on my neck at all. It's just resting, but I am trying to use my neck muscles and trying to bring my chin to my chest. So I'm not pulling with my arms, I'm using my neck muscles to bring my chin to my chest. And I'm just looking down. This is stretching out the back of the neck. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting my knees and ankles together and I'm slowly going down towards the ground. Again, this is going to stretch out the neck and the back. Do not pull on your neck. I'm not pulling. I'm lowering my body from my back. I know it looks like I'm pulling with my arms, but I'm not. And when you get done, give it a nice shake out. Get rid of the tingles. Okay, so for this one, we're really going to focus on sitting on our heels. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You could sit on top like that with your feet straight. Now this might get a little bit sore after a bit, so you might want to get something to help you. Maybe a rolled up sweatshirt or a blanket. I have a pillow that fits just perfectly. So if your knees are feeling sore, you can put it under your knees. Your ankles might feel like they need support, so you could put it underneath your ankles. You could also put it on top of your heels. I'm going to put it to the side right now and just to show you again how I have my feet set up. Alright, so we're going to do some different holds here to really stretch out the front of our legs and our shins. These are really good if you're sore from skating after a long day the day before. Okay, so I'm just taking some deep breaths. I'm staying on my bottom is on my heels, and now what I'm going to do, if I feel like my legs or my feet are getting sore, I'm going to push on the floor a little bit and just kind of lift my body up. That's okay if you need to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to bring up my leg, and I'm going to hold it for a little bit. I'm going to put it down. Again, this is going to stretch out your shin, your tibia. It's also going to stretch out your ankles on the front of your foot. Go slow. This is great for stretching out that area right on my shin. Okay, so I'm doing every other, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring them both up. Ooh, that's tricky. That's a good workout. If you have to, take a little break, shake out your legs. Okay, we're going to try again, bring them both up. All right. Now we're going to do some hip stretches. So it's like your elbows are going to go on the inside of your knees, and you're just going to kind of twist and turn on your toes, the balls of your feet. And that's really going to open up your hips and your hip flexors and give you a good stretch so you can get a good push in your skate session. So, this is just a real quick warm-up or a cool-down. You certainly don't need to do it before or after skating. You could do it even if you're not a skater, but I hope that it finds you well and has opened you up and gotten you ready to move today. So, namaste. We'll check in soon.